कि बीच में आदमी खुद को इतना importance क्यों देते हैं मुझे समझ नहीं आता है. Because the way we're critically scared, you know. Even if you don't know the woman, you are like, अभी तक वो रिलीज नहीं हुई है इंडिया में, but if you hear of this film and if you have a chance to watch it, please do. It's been directed by Kanu Behl, and Priyanka, what you've done, a lot of actors will not be able to pull that off at all.
We are not like, carrying the golden goose in a way that a lot of producers are not calling us.
What goes through somebody's mind when you're like, maximum people haven't seen my best work yet?
Yeah. So when I have that, then I'm just like, oh wow, I'm really in a relaxed space where I can be this kind of actor. This style works because, I'm adaptable and things like that. Yeah.
Who has been someone that you really enjoyed collaborating with?
Right now, my enjoyment has come from the Wheel of Time. I enjoyed collaborating with...
Hi guys, welcome to the Superwomaniya Show. With me is someone जिनको जब कैमरा ऑफ था तो बड़े टाइम से हम निहार रहे थे और हम कह रहे थे कि हम निहार रहे थे in a way only a woman can, and the way women compliment. The very cool Priyanka Bose is here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've been watching your show and everything for a very long time. I'm like, कब बुलाएंगे?
देखिए ग्रह नक्षत्र मिल चुके हैं और आप अपने स्कूल लुक के साथ आई हैं हमारे स्टूडियो में. I'm very happy.
Think of the look, yeah. I love getting compliments from women. We were just talking about it, how we dress up for other women. I love it, like when women go like, wow,
this fact needs to be understood and told that women dress up to impress other women. कि बीच में आदमी खुद को इतना importance क्यों देते हैं मुझे समझ नहीं आता है. Because the way we're critically scared, you know. Even if you don't know the woman, you are like, Which happened with me when I was like, okay, this is working. Priyanka, I'm so excited you're here and you're part of the Superwomaniya Show. And before we talk about your latest work, I just want to take a moment and say that I saw Priyanka Bose's best work at Cannes, at the Cannes Film Festival 2 years back.
Yes.
We were talking about the movie Agra. अभी तक वो रिलीज नहीं हुई है इंडिया में, but if you hear of this film and if you have a chance to watch it, please do. It's been directed by Kanu Behl, and Priyanka, what you've done, a lot of actors will not be able to pull that off at all.
I mean, I also did it out of complete hunger of working with Kanu, and there was already a buzz, कि festival film होगी, festival जाएगी, and that kind of greed because of the exposure that actors like me get because of these films that we say yes to. We are not like carrying the golden goose in a way that a lot of producers are not calling us, and and these a film like this which has a subject which is like it's not alien to me in any way.
It's not alien, but in that sense, it's also not that palatable to a lot of people. It is not mainstream in that sense, and yet a very powerful film.
So and I feel like the approach and everything was genuinely that they made an Indian film, but genuinely for a foreign audience, and now I feel like it's important that we realize that we made an Indian film with Indians in it, and a lot of this India that we are showcasing is the majority of India. So the moment you are turning blind eye to it, a film like this is just staying in the cans. Literally, so literally, so I feel like this needs to definitely come out.
I just want to talk about this. Fraternity पे हम जो film festivals में जाते हैं, film critics, journalists, okay, we of course were lucky to watch this film, okay. I want to understand your perspective. Here's an artist who has done a film, and if I can say arguably one of your best works, right? A very powerful film. It's something I'm sure you are very proud of. What goes through somebody's mind when you're like, maximum people haven't seen my best work yet?
I mean, when I have a lot of time, a lot of this ruminates, there is, end of the day, I'm a human being, it does sting if the industry hasn't watched my film, and based on that, I haven't signed the film. I mean, for me, more than the adulation, of course, if they recognize me from the film is a big thing. But more than that, I feel like that one door leading to another door is what I'm going for. You know, the validation, you can keep calling each other good actors, good actress. Honestly, that is not paying my bills. The fact which is paying my bills and helping me not go out of pocket for my dreams to go into film festivals is the fact that I sign another film, because my craft is not the question here. You know, so yeah.
अभी हम आगरा की और बात करेंगे, हम बाकी आपके काम की बात करेंगे, पर अभी जो लेटेस्ट आपकी फिल्म जो लोग देखेंगे, which is the Fable, इसमें मनोज बाजपेयी भी हैं. You're playing his on-screen wife.
Yes, I am.
Tell us a little. What is it? How much of it can you reveal?
I mean, the thing is, I think trailer बहुत मस्त काटा है उसने, so it's very intriguing. So watch it primarily because it's a very special and intriguing film, and at a time of so much deep unrest right now with what's happening around, you just need something of peace and calm to wash all over you, and this film hopes to do that. Nandini as a character, I have played her taking the ambience, you know, inside, you know, people from the mountains. She's with the mountains, so there's no anxiety as such. The only small little anxiety is her ducks are not in a row, in the sense कि काम पे ये नहीं आए, time पे नहीं आए. But mysteriously something is happening, and she's holding fort for many things. And then you realize in the scheme of things that how the family functions together, and without one or the other, and even though these mysterious circumstances break them apart in a way, but they come together because you realize that the bond of this family only works, and the whole thing works because they function well together.
What was your working experience with Manoj?
Manoj has so much experience. Manoj is cool. I mean, it was interesting to observe like how he maintains his discipline and the fact that, you know, he has clout in that way, and how he's actually helpful with the producers, with you know, whether it's location support, whether it's talking to the local CM and things like that, just to make the process really smooth. I observe these things, you know, more than anything else, and I feel like he really boosts my morale as well. I was, you know, obviously, you know, going through a really hard time. It was just after COVID chaos, and we were just trying to settle ourselves in the new reality of what it would be, and the transition of that was like really hard in different capacity. And I feel like, you know, people don't realize we are doing films, we're also living our lives. So I feel like, you know, it was nice to just get to know I'm getting to know the human outside of Manoj Bajpayee right now, but it was just nice in the context of the film to actually get to know Manoj like that as well.
You know, the reason I specifically asked about Manoj is क्योंकि जितनी बार भी हमने उनके साथ भी conversation की है, I am in awe of how he is so committed to his craft, and somehow not fully, as they say, give in to the demands of mainstream Bollywood. You know, he has managed to hold his own.
Yeah, it's incredible. That's why I learned from that kind of, you know, because what a trajectory, and to hold that, you know, coming as an outsider, you know, and to have that kind of, it's pretty admirable, you know, consistently he's held that. And of course he's had his frustrations and his betrayals and, you know, all those things that, you know, we feel like, no, it's not possible. हम तो इतने दूध के धुले हुए हैं, हमको तो ये सब affect ही नहीं करता है. हमें तो करता है, हम तो इतने आर्टिस्ट हैं, हम तो इतने सेंसिटिव हैं, हमको सब अफेक्ट करता है, हमने सब देखा है, you know. So to actually have that and then come to this place, it's cool. Yeah, I hope I get to work with him a little bit more. Like I feel like we get along and he's cool. I like him.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, this pressure on women to please men. ये जो हम air hostess बन के घूमेंगे सर चाय लेंगे या coffee. And I don't think men are allowed to be off-putting, not welcoming, not smiling.
That's
How many
okay.
people
They can walk out in like, whatever their vibe is, their grunge and their corduroy and all that. And I'm just like, no, yeah, there has to be a certain decorum with us. Always.
How many times have you been told to smile more, be more welcoming?
My mother keeps saying that, be warm. You have such a nice smile. Radiant, dekho, radiant. I'm like, Ma, I just want to sleep.
A Bengali mother saying,
yeah, radiant.
Shona, me,
I don't smile. I don't make up that. So it's a lot. It's very extra. But I understand it, when I go into my shell, when there's no, work or the film is not doing well or whatever, real life things. My mom is like, क्या depression? हमारे यहाँ तो कोई depression नहीं होता है.
हाँ वो तो होता ही नहीं.
वो तो कभी नहीं होता था. तो वो pressure है कि you have to look beautiful, and I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And the fact is, I see that we're going to film festivals and stuff like that. I have to make sure that my hair and makeup is on time, and I'm wearing the right clothes. It's good for our business, and things like that. And I'm like, a lot of endorsements depend on it, and and people are dying to collaborate with us. We are dying to collaborate with them, and I feel that there's a lot for on women for sure. But at the same time, it's so violent what's happening with us sometimes that I'm just like, can I just be?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
To be. Okay.
To just be.
Yeah.
I just don't want to all the time be showing up.
I think there's so much truth in what you've said. कि वो जो एक face put on करना पड़ता है ना कि you have to be fine, like you said, no matter what is happening.
Yeah.
But
together.
Yeah.
Always together.
Always together.
Yeah.
In so many ways, our parents build us. We are with what they gave us, and yet we become our own person.
Yeah, somewhere.
Tell me, growing up, that's the journey. That's what we aim to do. What are some of the things you've had to unlearn, or from a very young age you were clear that nahin, this is not my...
There is so much, and I feel like going back to roots, I actually don't know what they were for a very long time, because it wasn't just uprootedness that I felt with every, station my father left, and every, as a middle class, we also moved homes a lot. So every, pin code changing and everything. So that kind of roots was only rooted to food, for example. So for the longest time, my language was food, and at the same time, otherwise there was, you just had to do really well in whatever you did.
Yeah.
And the fact is, a lot of life happens, then you're not looking back at all. You're just moving forward. And as I started traveling and I started getting more deeper into what I wanted to do and for myself as a creator, co-creator of my world, I feel like a lot of my rigidity and everything, I know where it comes from now. I feel like self-awareness has taught me, what I can let go and what I should let go, and just for my own growth and my maturity, which sometimes my very close friends will know that I'm not very mature, and I show myself. I feel like, why edit one part of me and then not show this part of me? And I'm like, you're my core group. You see, this is my. It's not even like a boundary. It's a thing that I'm providing a safe place for us to be real and honest with each other. So things like that I had to really, because we come from a society that vulnerability is not lauded in any way.
Yeah.
In fact, we have so much shame about asking for help that even with close relationships, you're gaming each other.
Yeah.
And I find that really absurd, because I'm just like, a healthy society or a healthy upbringing or an environment actually should provide that. So I didn't have that. And then I came into a profession that didn't have that. But right now, I feel like coming back to my roots is also, nurturing myself without the other. Going inside of me and my spiritual seek is like the simplicity, the the nuances of discipline, the agitation, and I feel like everything that comes with human. I feel like that's the only thing I'll have. It's like, just know that I'm a safe space. That's all I can really say without the cultural baggage of who we are, honestly. I don't know if I answered your...
No, you beautifully put it. But tell me, when you were talking about your growing up years, when did you have the clarity that this is what you wanted to do, that you had made a decision for yourself to be an actor or creator?
I mean, right now also when I'm not getting consistent offers or anything, it's very like dark. I feel like quitting a lot, many times, and I feel like
That's so brave of you to admit. A lot of people
it's very difficult. The fact that I am still unsure about whether, forget liking the script, whether that one door is opening for me where I can explore myself as an artist, and I'm competitive enough with myself, and that's healthy. That from my last film, I want to do better, So, and I want to keep getting those opportunities. And the thing is, that is not in my control. And that's a very hard thing to actually accept at some point in your life, where I don't want to be just hanging. I want to use my intelligence, somewhere and someplace in the creation of things. And I'm always seeking clarity, and I'm always seeking direction. This is my sole requirement in a way. So if it means that I want to get an opportunity to be brilliant, I also want to get an opportunity to have enough a number of me time, because I feel like that replenishes me for this.
Correct.
So when I have that, then I'm just like, oh wow, I'm really in a relaxed space where I can be this kind of actor. This style works because, I'm adaptable and things like that. Yeah.
Priyanka, in your case, your talent has never been in doubt, right? You've even done international projects, Wheel of Time, Agra, which again was critically acclaimed, international film festivals. We have the Fable coming up. How do you then make sense of this? Because I think it's really brave of you to then speak about the fact that I do not have consistent work and I get into a dark space. And anybody would, irrespective of what industry they're in, if they feel that they're not being creatively challenged enough or not getting the kind of work that they want. It is hard for people.
It's hard to, stare at yourself in the mirror saying that, I mean, what you see is not what, I feel all the time. And I'm like, stop glamorizing this whole aspect of being an actor so much. And I'm like, just keep it very real with each other a little bit, that there could be a time where you don't know if you're making it at all.
I thought now with casting directors, there's more transparency. Are things actually changing on ground? What do you think are some of the challenges?
There is a lot of clout. I mean, I feel
people
like
who are not viewed as insiders or outsiders.
Yeah. I mean, before I used to think it's a little bit more democratic, and people actually knew that I was based in Bombay, and I always got that one call. Now things have shifted in a different way. I'm looking for representation over here, by the way. So, and whatever I'm gauging, and I'm like, how are you getting the work in India? Like, what's happening? Because the structure outside is very different from what it is over here, and I'm still gauging about because I don't even know what are the projects happening. I mean, instead. With Variety, at least you know that okay, there's an announcement and there's this, But over here, I don't get to know at all. So,
listening to you, you're very articulate. You're obviously a smart woman, and as intelligent women, we're often expected to dumb ourselves down.
Yeah. My husband will say, just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just listen.
No, but have you done that? Because I think we
Be
all
quiet.
would not be quiet, but just be dumb, because I think some egos get massaged that way. Or do you think you're okay with intimidating?
I dissociate because if I'm like not in my full form and everything, then I'm just like, that room is not for me, you know. And so what will happen in a group is just like I'll be mumblecore, talk to myself, whereas, you know, everyone is talking so heavily. I also get very overstimulated, guys. So I have to balance that extrovert, introvert a lot. So that's a mental game with me. Like, I love people. At the same time, I couldn't deal with them, like, after, you know, for 10 days. So, you know, and that's something I play with myself. So, yeah, I keep myself very entertained, as you can tell. But at the same time, yeah, what I'm working on is listening and talking and not always having a point of view. And I feel like it's fair. I feel like that's a good feedback. I should let people talk.
No, I get that, but my question was particularly with, do you think, okay, let me frame it differently. Do you think men get intimidated by intelligent women?
Yeah, it's not very difficult to intimidate men. It's not. It truly is not. I mean, you would think they'll get technical, you know, stuff easy, but there'll be 5 people who'll converse about it, you know, a mic falling down. Like, you know, so it's not very difficult. So, you know, and if you lower your voice and you speak in a certain tone, you know.
I can see what you do.
And it's very
easy.
Very easy.
You enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm very
Sorry. Okay. Speak to me a little about acting as being a very collaborative art form. We always, you know, we have actors who speak about, oh, we fend off each other's energies. Who has been someone that you really enjoyed collaborating with?
Right now, my enjoyment has come from the Wheel of Time. I enjoyed collaborating with my co-partner in the series called Taylor Napier. And yeah, most of our scenes were together in the season, you know, in all 3 seasons. And I've gotten to know him more, and I feel like that bond I've never had before, you know, where you live with people or you travel with people and you, like, you know, get to know each other, you hate each other, you love each other, you fight with each other, like, you know, that kind of bond I've not had. And so it was just really, really nice to have that. And I feel like we just got into the groove where we were good feeding off each other, although our styles were very different, but we are compatible as people, and that was very interesting to me.
From the Fable, particularly addressing your fans directly, what is it that they can expect?
Please expect a very, very decent film, a very, very nuanced film. It's edited so well, it's shot so well. The work is really good. It's something that will stay with us for sure for the rest of our lives. And, you know, I've always maintained that music and films are the, you know, generation telling, like, you know, an iconic film of that year or the next 3 years. And hopefully Jugnuma is one of those films, at least for us. I mean, it's got many elements that could really make this, it already does, makes this film really special.
Lovely. You know what I want you to do now is bust a few myths or probably confirm those for us.
Or maybe get educated myself. Yeah,
tell me, does one make friends in the industry?
I mean, you do, and then you break up also, but that's life.
So is it as long as the project lasts?
I feel like sometimes it works as long as the project lasts, and then sometimes you do get lucky that, okay, we're going to be BFFs forever. And that happens, and that thing, I feel like that's real life and it keeps changing. I always wonder, because that's not my soul seek. how people stick with one thing for the rest of their lives. Like my family, my parents, for example, have had friendships for 3 decades, and I'm like, maybe it's the industry. I don't know what it is. Like I'm reconnecting with people on a different plane right now, and I feel like that reconnection can also happen when you're 60, when you're not competitive with each other. And I feel like we are in such a competitive field already. And as human beings, we are insecure. So it's not like you're not curious about the other person. Your curiosity has the capacity of just that time because we have our lives to live, our bills to pay, and very mundane things. And for a minute we shut that and we create another world. So I feel like just be truthful to that no matter what's happening. Be a good person to each other and then move along. And if you're lucky, your paths will cross again.
So anybody you'd call a friend from the industry?
I mean, I have some. I do have some friends, some, advocates. You want me to name them?
No, but I'm just asking.
I do actually. I enjoy, some people's work so much that they're my friends. I want to be with the cool kids. I want to be one of the cool kids. I want to grow with the changing atmosphere and not keep talking about my 16-year-old flex. Like I'm like, come on, I've always wanted diverse friendships, and I have that. And and what is life? I
was going to come to this, but since you brought up your 16-year-old flex, we shall speak about the fact that आपकी त्वचा से आपकी उम्र का पता ही नहीं लग रहा है, जो हम नहीं लगाना चाहते.
क्योंकि brown girls don't crack. सुना आपने?
But if she's 16, when did you have her? When you were 16?
When I was 16.
What is this? Why is...
I mean, thanks so much that, and I feel like...
But what a cool mom to have. So tell me, what sort of a relationship you share with your daughter, and how much of a mama and how much of a friend are you?
I'm her mama. I'm very, very her mama. Very protective mama bear. I mean, of course, there's a lot of fear in it, as you can imagine. So I'm just like, and befazul mein sometimes. So mazak bhi udati hai. Like, I feel like she's come out of that age where she sees my hypocrisy or something that, her free spirit doesn't really enjoy, and she'll call it out, and I regulate myself accordingly. And I feel like it's coming to that where there shouldn't be any dictatorship at all. And she doesn't always have to understand me, but I have to be always open, and seeking to understand her. And I feel like with girls, that dialogue needs to keep continuing. Sometimes it's very it's hard, but I enjoy it very much. Like, I don't think I'll grow if there was no banter coming from across to challenge me, saying that, but you said you contradicted yourself. And I'm like, that's the thing about human beings. Like, that's what we are constantly doing, is contradicting ourselves. And I apologize that my integrity sometimes is full of holes. It's the truth.
I feel I'm a millennial, and I feel that Gen Zs have a lot of issues. But the one thing they've got right is, I think the men are more feminist. I think the young boys coming now do not carry that baggage of gender roles, and I think they're more fluid with their dressing, with what they expect from a partner, which I think is really cool. As a cool feminist yourself, is there something that you're taking great care to get your daughter to understand, or is it the other way around? Are you learning a lot from her?
I'm learning. See, first of all, I have been told that I cannot talk to her friends.
That's okay.
Even though, like,
We've all been there, done that.
I'm trying to get to know them. I'm trying to get to, like I said, I'm a safe space, but she's just like, and her friends are really cool. I don't know what it is about them. They're a generation of, like, very good inner peace intact for some reason. this is, and the way they confront each other as well, you know, and I find that really interesting about direct conflict as well. There's straightforwardness, there's honesty, there's you know, and I really like that about them. I mean, it's something that I don't think I had. You know, I some of the things like that comes out of her mouth, and I'm like, oh wow, I sounded really dumb at, you know, when I was her age, when I was smaller, you know, and so I find that very fascinating. It's fascinating to me. It's very humbling, and it's not about like me knowing more at all. In fact, it's absolutely like, oh wow, I have to really rethink this, like, and then, you know, these tactics I do every time she'll ask me something deep and all, and I like distract her saying that aaj khane pe kya khaya hai. So she's not having it, you know. So yeah, it's cool.
But we keep talking about how we're bringing up our daughters. It's all about also how are you bringing up your sons. But are there some special lessons that you're giving your daughter that hold her in good stead as she grows up? Something that you have learned.
Of substance, yes. Always speak for yourself, you know, and the fact that you always have home, no matter what. So, I mean, even though for our selfish reasons, it's like, you know, we'll cry, like we went to the hostel, we're crying, both of us, you know, it's pathetic. But I feel like that as soon as you know the theory that she always has home, should always be a matter of strength, isn't it? She always has home. That's it.
That's the best thing you can do for your kids, is show your support. Okay, tell us, बहुत subtle power games होते हैं on set. A lot of actors have spoken about how different people are spoken to differently, and that kind of gives you an idea about the power structure. Have you felt that, experienced that, noticed that? Or have you never seen that?
I'm very oblivious, I have to be honest. Like, even if there is and everything, I'm just like, you know, end of the day, I just want to, I know this is what I need from it. I need the scene to work. I need to do a banging good scene. I want to go back home as soon as possible. So I feel like the less energy I go with that mental game saying that इसका power struggle ज़्यादा है, इसका ये कम है, ये वो, जब भी मैं करती हूँ मुझे लगता है मैंने अपना intelligence waste किया है. So I try not to do it, even though I do it. I observe everything, but still when I do it and I'm like, you know, it's so boring to me now. But yeah, होता होगा यार, होता है. एक तो funny है कि independent scene में अगर hierarchy हो, it's weird ना, like power struggle हो. I'm just like, that's kind of, I mean, I have so much to learn. Honestly, like, I would love to understand a little bit more,
Okay, the one question I always ask all my guests on the Superwomaniya show is, talk to us about your relationship with money. Okay, a lot of women still, we love money, but we are hesitant to talk about it, to ask for it. The world isn't that readily giving us pay parity. Tell me, you know, over the years, have you now learned to quote your price? Do you turn away if you are not being given what you think you deserve?
Yeah, I feel like the power of no is a very good one. The power of walk away is a very, very good one. And I feel like the, you know, I know we are a lot of us. And I know they'll tell you, they'll compare you. They'll say things like, ये तो इतने में करती है. आज तक, this is the professional language, you know. पैसे नहीं है, इस character के लिए पैसे नहीं है. I'm like, wow, this much value, you actually hold the character that it doesn't have, you know.
Oh, after so many years you get to hear this?
I mean, I'll be a rich woman if I just, you know, made sure that I collected these as money. And so things like that, and I'm like, you know, it's and thank God, because I work abroad as well, I know that the negotiation, how it works and how the system is designed in India as like, you know, for the bigger platforms to outsource. You know, so then, you know, we end up getting paid as Indian talent. So I'm trying to, like, in 2 of my interviews, they also said things like, aren't you scared you'll be caught demanding? I'm like, am I demanding? Am I really,
a woman asking her prices.
for price is demanding? I'm like, I'm asking for my salary, and I feel like I've worked enough, no? Like,
Wow.
So I feel like this conversation is not valid to me at all. And because I don't think I'm in that level. Look at Priyanka Chopra, how much work she's done, and things like that. And I'm like, I don't think we should be the ones answering those questions. I should, the producers should be. And I'm like, I know my value.
Yeah.
And my value is also attached to the craft. So if you're not giving me the scripts and everything, then I'm like, I'm just only asking for my price. And very honestly, if you really want to compare, it's not compared to the rest of everything. My character in a bigger film is actually compromising on basic stuff like hair and makeup, guys.
Wow.
So just know that, I mean, it's very silly.
So it happens more in India as compared to... The situation is quite bad here. Okay. More than talking about how does one feel about aging, I think women per se are never allowed to age. Yeah, it's easier for us to accept men
of youth. And zaddy is always a man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hot mamas are also like, no, I have no competition with men. I'm like, please grow sexier. It's better for me.
But tell me how do you process this? We're all going to age and they're going to be fine lines.
I just don't think about it.
You don't? You never thought about it?
I never thought about it.
It's never made you feel insecure?
I feel insecure about other things. I'll tell you what I feel insecure about. Losing my dog. I'm just like, if I'm constantly worried about ye jhuri yahan par dikh rahi hai, and my, little, muffin top and whatever, I'm just like, I've lost the point. I feel like I have less people or things to take care of and be so consumed within my own, like, neurosis end of the day. I mean, I know people are struggling with mental health and the way they want to look and everything, and I'm like, sab karo, balance mein karo. This is occupational hazard also for me. I want to look a certain way because it's my personal choice. I don't want to look shabby. And I will not let, it's not even an argument, I will not even expose myself to saying that if I'm in a hot mess, it's only because I'm really, really tired and unnecessarily overstretched at work. So the burnout will show. But the thing is, I take good care of my health, but I don't think about too much of ये वो ऐसे हो गया वैसे हो गया. I want to keep a check on my, say, temper.
Nice, I like that. Priyanka, I want to say I have really enjoyed this podcast.
I'm so happy.
One of the reasons is you've been so honest. Thank you for that honesty. You've been brave talking about feeling dejected when you don't get the kind of work you like. You've been honest about people being insecure, and so it's hard to connect sometimes at a human level. I think it's just so cool that you're just who you are, and thank you so much. These were such refreshing answers, and I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so glad I did. Yeah, so glad.
Thank you.